to tell you a story about sophomore, junior year of college. I joined this program called Semester at Sea, where you travel around the globe on a boat. It's basically like a university on a cruise ship. And you get to go all around the world, and a lot of it has to do with charity. You learn, you grow, it changes your life. So I'm in India working for different orphanages. We're at Mother Teresa's orphanage, and playing with the kids. It's not too far off from a lot of the orphanages that I've been to out here. And the woman who runs it says, "Do you want to go to this back room?" And I said, "Well, what's in the back room?" And she said, "Well, it's not always this pretty, doesn't always look this nice, but we try to shield most people that come and visit us from the harsh truth of what happens." And I said, "Okay, well, I want to see." So I go back there with a few of the really brave kids that were with me, and she opens this door, and immediately it was this sensory overload. Everything you smell is unlike anything you've smelled before. Everything you see is dark, it's hazy, there's cribs lined from wall to wall, wooden cribs, and what was most shocking to me is there was no noise. There was nothing when you walked into this room, yet every crib had a child that either had AIDS, was malnourished, and it was just, you know, it was so shocking, and everybody kind of just stayed against the wall and observed. And immediately I went right in. I went for one of the back cribs, and I picked up this child that, in all honesty, was like a pile of bones with skin flopped over it. And I picked up this little girl, and I noticed that she hadn't been moved for so long that she had bed sores on the side of her body. So I pulled out some antibacterial wipes, I wiped her down, I played with her. I didn't let go of this little girl. I mean, with like all her strength and might, which was very little, she clung on to me for 2.5 hours. And I looked across the way, and there was this guy, and he was doing the same thing, and we were the only two in the room that actually got knee deep in it and wanted to be a part of it and change it, and I admired him. And so we spent 2.5 hours kind of playing with everybody. Him and I were, you know, discussing what was happening, and we get back on the bus, and everybody immediately is in this large, like, obsessed rage for antibacterial soap, antibacterial wipes. Oh my God, give them, throw them, here, here. Like, they were so scared that they might contract something from whatever we had just touched. And this guy sits down next to me, and he introduces himself. Turns out him and I go to the same college. And he says, "Yeah, this is such a fucking joke that all these people are throwing antibacterial soap around like we just contracted some evil thing from these poor kids in this third world country." And we got along instantly. I mean, that was basically the first moment where I realized there's somebody on this planet that is exactly like me. And we spent the rest of the time traveling to Japan, Hong Kong, China, Vietnam, India, South Africa, Brazil, Cuba. We worked with Che Guevara's daughter, with Nelson Mandela, with the Dalai Lama. We had this extensive journey in a short period of time in life, and ended up going back to our university and being the only two that understood the world in that way. And of course, fell in love, fell in lust, fell in passion, fell in everything. We were both virgins. We both had always waited for this dream in life to come to us, which most people don't find, and everybody that I knew hadn't found. Everybody ended up being fucked up by love. And I was different, and I was lucky, which of course I love. And so we progressed into this long relationship. We were both the virgins of our school. We were kind of always known as that couple. And after enough prodding and enough, you know, pressure and desire, we decided that we wanted to lose our virginity to each other. So we planned it out, you know, down to every little last drop. So, you know, we marked the calendar. I made sure it was the perfect time in the month. I had a couple weeks to get in the gym, get my body right, plan everything. You know, I went and got like fake lashes. I got my hair done. I was like, this is going to be memorable, okay? So the night comes, and I had made dinner, and, you know, literally, and I'm embarrassed to admit this because I'm sure you guys all are probably looking at me like, this bitch. But, you know, I like design the lighting in the room. I don't know if women have ever done that. But, like, you can photo yourself in different lighting. Like, I have stretch marks, so, you know, certain lighting makes them go away quicker. So I had that fucking lighting right. I had everything looking good. And he came over, we had dinner, we had drinks, we couldn't keep our hands off of each other. I mean, you guys are probably all playing out the first sex you had in your head, hopefully. And, you know, it was everything. And I had never done anything up until that point except kiss and kind of like rubbed over jeans, my garage. But like, this is the first time, you know, he went down on me, and it was like amazing. I didn't even understand what that was. You know, during most of it, I just kept thinking like, God, I was like the prude bitch that like judged everyone for having sex, and I can't believe I wasn't doing this sooner. Like, what a waste of time. So I got laid, and to this day, I can say probably the best sex I've ever had. It continued to grow into definitely the best sex I've ever had. But it was so passionate, so emotional, so intense. And we get up and we couldn't even like be away from each other. Like we had to touch each other. His arms were wrapped around me, my arms around him, kissing, like fondle into the bathroom, flick on the lights to clean up. And we had blood all over our faces, lips, hands, bodies. And I looked for like, it felt like fucking 5 minutes, but it was really like 2 seconds. I glanced into the room and it looked like a crime scene. I mean, there was blood all over the sheets. There was like a hand on the wall. So anyway, I started my period. You know, I guess I didn't plan everything as carefully as I thought. But I was humiliated, shut off the lights really quick, and I was like, that didn't fucking happen. Like, just let's forget that happened. Let's just wash and keep the lights off and make it go away. And he turned on the lights, and he went behind me, and he put his hands on my shoulders, and we stared in the mirror, and he said, I don't care that you make the lights look a certain way because you think that you have stretch marks that are going to turn me off. And I don't care that there's blood all over my fucking face right now from cleaning your pussy. And I don't care that, sorry babe, I hate to say this, but one of your eyelashes fell off about like fucking 20 minutes ago. And one of your hair extensions is also under the pillow. I didn't want you to know that either. But I don't give a fuck. I love you. You're beautiful. I don't need all of that, but it makes me feel good that you felt like you wanted to give me the best experience. But I love you, and I would do this whole fucked up scenario every day of my life to be able to be with you. So I found the right one, right? Like, who has a story like that? So we are getting ready to come to the end of college. Everybody has to figure out what they're going to do with their life. And we all start planning. My mom's sending me email after email that I need to go be a singer, that I need to go audition for American Idol, that that's been my dream since I was young, and that I'll be miserable being an attorney. And I didn't listen to her because my man and I had our life. He wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. We were going to travel around the world. We were going to do Doctors Without Borders, and I was going to work with refugee camps, and we were done. We had our plans set. So time's coming close. I know that he's planning something because him and my roommate Natalie were both bio majors. They were always together. They were conspiring. I started noticing conversations with her and him, and I knew something good was coming. So I would always kind of dance around, try to figure out what was going on, and one day he leaves to go to class, and I get on his computer because I'm a control freak and I need to understand what's happening so I can have the perfect outfit for it. So I go to his computer and I pull up past searches on his browser, and it said stuff about Mexico. So I knew, okay, he's going to take me to Mexico, like he's got to be proposing, this is the life that we planned. And then an email pops up from my roommate Natalie, and it said, can't wait.
Oh, damn.
So I thought, oh, I'm so excited, like this is going to be the plan, now I'll know, but I can pretend I didn't know, etc. So I clicked on the email, and she said, I can't wait to do this again. It's coming soon. I don't know, some fucking like one-liner, like dun dun dun. Then there was an attachment to a picture, and I clicked it, and it was a photo of them making out in bed. So this is the first time in my life that I was so angry that I couldn't even show anger. Like, you know when you have that moment when you can't scream, you can't hit, you can't call, you can't punish. You're just so fucking angry that you don't even feel anything anymore. So yeah, that's how I felt. And I kept it up on his computer, and I left. I went home, I cried to some of my friends, I called my mom, and she said, well, you know, welcome to life, Aubrey. Okay? I know you've always been pretty, and you've had this, and you've had that. So welcome to fucking life. It's only gonna get worse from here. And go do something with your fucking life and stop trying to be someone's wife. So I went to an audition the next day for something called Making the Band with P. Diddy. My mom told me, Diddy's great. Like, I've seen him on CNN, and he cares about charity. He's doing this cool world thing. He did this Vote or Die campaign where he's trying to get people to vote. He's trying to get people to care about the world. Little did she know. But so I was inspired by what she said. I always loved Biggie, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna do this. And I ended up making this band. And 6 years later, I've had 2 platinum albums with this group. I starred on Broadway. I've had my own show on television in Vegas. I just finished Celebrity Apprentice. I was able to do all these wonderful things with my career that I had never planned. And along the way, I had heard that those 2 got married, that they had a kid, that they moved away and went to medical school together. And even at the height of my success, anytime that I was reminded of that situation, I fucking hated that girl. I hated her for taking my life. I hated her for taking the one fucking person on this earth that I had a connection with. I wanted to be her every day of my life. She was pretty, she had great makeup. I was never gonna be her, okay? Like, no matter how great I was never gonna be her. But what I could do for myself was never let them see me fail. So it pushed me. It pushed me to keep fighting when everybody gave up on me. It pushed me to help, basically to survive this industry. If anyone's in it, you know it's a fucking shit show. And all it wants to do is chew you up and spit you out, and it could give a fuck about you. So it pushed me. Every time someone didn't believe in me, it was a reminder of Gabe and Natalie. And every time I wanted to give up on making the band because it was too much for me to handle, I remembered those 2 fucks and I said, no, they're gonna watch me on TV. They're gonna watch me become a star. I will not give up right now. It was always to show other people that said I couldn't that I would. So, all that time in my life with those thoughts, I come home for a break and I run into Nordstrom to pick up some makeup, and a girl from behind the counter starts talking to me and, you know, kind of apologizing, and instantly I realized, holy shit, this is Natalie. Except she got a little fatter, which made me feel good.
Hell yeah!
But she's talking to me, and I'm listening to her, and she's kind of a little bit of a fan. So I felt like a little bit of a victory. But she didn't look good, another victory. Then she, you know, went on to kind of apologize for what had happened in the past, which of course to me is like, bitch, the whole fucking reason I'm here is because you screwed me 8 years ago, but okay. And then I said, well, you know, moving on, how's Gabe? How's your kid? I heard you guys got married. And she said, oh, well, years back, Gabe got in a really bad car accident, and he ended up getting paralyzed from the neck down. And it also, he had extreme damage in his frontal lobe, so something happened, infected his personality. This charming man that he was is no longer. And because of this accident, they couldn't continue to put themselves through medical school, so they had to come. And you can spend your whole time making it push you, being angry about it, wanting it back, thinking that you lost everything you thought your life was going to be. And in turn, sometimes, most of the time, it can be the best thing that ever happened to you. Because if I ended up with that man, I would have never been able to travel. I would have never been able to have that great passionate sex that we had. I would have never been able to become successful at any of the things that I was born to create in life. And I would have made my life about a man that didn't care about me enough to not cheat. So unexpectedly, when bad things happen, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you in your life.